Okay, something big is about to happen. And I'm gonna head it off with the pass and give you a little pretext. The market is changing, but we need to talk about why and how. Oh, and stick around at the end because we have kind of like a big danger zone warning. But now, let's get after it. So I may have mentioned this before, but our stats that we report are just a little bit different than you might hear on the news. We're talking about single family residences, homes, under 1 acre in Bend or Redmond or whatever city we're talking about. Today, specifically, it's gonna be about Bend. So no condos, no lots, no farmland or farms, anything like that. This is just homes. Now, last year at this time in May, the average sales price was $743,000. This year, it's currently, it's May, $865,000. Great. I mean, great. I mean, shit, it's bonkers. It's unsustainable. Or is it? I want to hear from you. Is this average sales price of $800 and some odd thousand, is this sustainable? Let me know in the comment section down below. And we all know what caused this is this insane lack of inventory and this incredible increase in demand. But now, whoa, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Actually, both of them. 2 elephants? Is that a thing? Can we have 2 elephants in the room? Anyway, the first big thing is inventory. Last year at this time, we had 76 homes on the market in May in Bend, which is nothing. This year, or rather this month, it's 171 homes on the market. That's like a 125% increase in homes on the market. But consider this, back in 2017, which was more of a normal market really, there were 461 homes on the market in May of 2017. So we are still far below the level of normal inventory. But also our buyers are slowing down, actually hitting the pause button because of this increase in interest rates. You know that funny meme where like Homer Simpson is creeping back into the hedge? Yeah. Which means that this spring push of inventory that we're seeing is starting to stack up just a little bit. Okay, now before I get to the punchline here, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And we're glad that you're here. And go ahead and like the video as well. I think it helps the algorithm because I'm about to drop a truth bomb on you. The market's about to crash. Just kidding, not really. Look, the market is going to change. It's changing already, right now in fact. And the truth is we are going to start seeing price reductions. Let me repeat that. We are going to start seeing price reductions. You are going to start seeing price reductions. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the market is correcting or crashing or bubble bursting or whatever clickbaity catchphrase you want to use. What price reductions mean after going through a market like we've seen is that the market was so blazing hot that overzealous sellers who thought their house was worth more and sometimes over-promising agents have to pull back on what they promised for the house. We saw this a little bit last fall where sellers were projecting where the market was going because it was so hot. And then the market took a little tiny pause, little tiny break last fall, and they had to quickly price reduce to get back to where the market actually was, not just where they thought it was going. Then, once January hit, the market took off again. Just sort of happened. But this price reduction season will probably be a little bit more involved. We may see a small pullback from the market. Or heck, best case, we may just simply flatline for a while and not see any growth. Could you imagine not seeing the average sales price go up for a month or even 2? Weird. Now, you might think that this is the chink in the armor and that the sky is about to fall. I don't know about that either. Yes, interest rates are climbing through the roof, but I'm not so sure they're gonna continue that way. The Fed is going to continue to increase interest rates, but that does not directly correlate to mortgage interest rates. They're different. And once these rising interest rates actually hit the pause button or level out or stop being so volatile, I think that we're going to start seeing some of those buyers come back to the market. Let's remember, there are still a ton of buyers out there. And right now, the interest rates are giving them pause. But eventually, buyers will become more comfortable with more stable numbers and begin searching again. And just for fun, if you actually compare the interest rates where they're at right now compared to inflation, it's not even fair. We're actually doing okay, really. And let's consider this. Every year in May, we get a bump in inventory. But will it continue? Would a seller get out of a 3% interest loan that they maybe just refied a couple of years ago when there was the big refi boom? Would a seller give up a 3% interest loan on a house that is working for them currently, obviously, in order to trade up or to trade over or even trade down in a 5% interest loan if they were to sell and buy a new house? I wouldn't do it just for fun, I'll tell you that. There's going to have to be a pretty significant need there in order to make that change. So I might be so bold as to say that the inventory might actually stay low and not return to normal levels. For the locals who are watching, I want to hear from you. Are you willing to trade your 3% for a 5.5% interest rate if you were to move houses, if you were to move horizontally or up or down? Are you planning on moving this year? And if so, why? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on this. Now remember, this is not financial advice at all. I'm just kind of spitballing my ideas out there. This is sort of a market update because I threw some stats around, but I'm just kind of telling you what I think is going to happen in the 3 to 6 months moving forward. What if you wait for 4 or 5 months and interest rates normalize and maybe settle back down into, I don't know, maybe the mid to upper 4s? Inventory stays low and buyers start creeping back into the market. I think we could see things normalize and even return to a more reasonable appreciation of around 5 to 7% per year, which is still fantastic. That's my hope anyway. Now, danger zone. What could happen in the worst case? Okay, we've established that we're going to see price reductions happening, and likely we're going to see this happening nationwide. And in some communities and cities across the country, we are already starting to see the average sale price, not just listing, not just price reductions for listings, sale prices decrease a little bit. But to go from the hottest real estate market that has ever been to a crash, like back in 2008, 9, and 10, there's like 1,000 levels in between there. Would a normal market be so bad? The news media has a responsibility not to freak out and panic the public by overstating or overemphasizing the moderate price reductions and sales we're probably about to see. If the media overreacts, then sellers who might not have any business selling could potentially try to sell, flood the market with excess inventory, thus signaling a crash. And if there is a crash, why would a buyer want to buy? So the buyers aren't going to be buying, only sellers are going to be selling. Worst case, it could be a bad thing. However, I truly believe that if everyone remains calm and doesn't hit the panic button, this will be a normalizing part of the market and far, 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 far from a crash. I mean, did you really need all that toilet paper a couple years ago? I actually knew a guy. He got really close to running out, but it all worked out. Currently, we are right on par, or just a little under, the total number of homes sold this year versus last year. So we're good there. And again, inventory might stack up over the next few months, but that's nothing new either because it's springtime. And yes, the rising interest rates may force some buyers out of the market or force them to jump back up on the fence again. Wait it out for a little bit. But eventually, if I had to guess, I would think that in the next 3 to 6 months, things will begin to normalize and we'll basically just kind of keep carrying right on straight through the end of the year. Last quarter, I issued a market update stating that I had no idea what was about to come. feel a little better about this one. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Am I just off my rocker here? Or does what I'm saying make sense? Does the hike in interest rates keep sellers from moving? And will time ease the fears of wary buyers? One thing that I know is that real estate is still popping for us over here at the Kromm Real Estate team. So if you are in the market, we would love to help you along your path. You can call, email, text, Instagram, DM, whatever you like. We'd love to hear from you, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.